World War Z paints a terrifying picture of a world overrun by zombies. The infection spreads fast, turning humans into mindless, flesh-eating monsters. No country is safe. The virus ignores borders, infecting millions. Governments crumble, societies collapse. The world plunges into chaos. The book is a collection of first-hand accounts from survivors. These stories detail the struggles and horrors of a zombie apocalypse. We see the pandemic's impact on individuals, families, and entire nations. It's a stark reminder of humanity's vulnerability in the face of an overwhelming threat. The initial response to the outbreak is slow and inadequate. Governments and organizations downplay the threat. They fail to take decisive action. This lack of preparedness costs lives. It allows the virus to spread unchecked in the crucial early stages. World War Z is more than just a zombie story. It's a cautionary tale about the importance of preparedness, adaptability, and unity in the face of global crises. The book forces us to confront our own mortality and question how we would react in a similar situation. Different nations adopt different strategies to combat the zombie hordes. Some rely on brute force, throwing armies and weapons at the problem. Others focus on containment and isolation, trying to quarantine the infected. The United States, initially slow to react, eventually establishes fortified zones. These safe havens offer protection to survivors. However, they also highlight the stark inequalities that emerge in times of crisis. China takes a more drastic approach. They implement a scorched earth policy, sacrificing entire regions to contain the infection. This strategy is brutal, but it buys time for the rest of the world to prepare. Some nations simply cease to exist. Others retreat into isolation, cutting themselves off from the outside world. The global response to the zombie pandemic is as varied as the nations themselves, reflecting different cultures, ideologies, and resources. The survivors of World War Z share valuable lessons about resilience and adaptation. One key takeaway is the importance of discarding old assumptions and embracing new realities. Traditional methods of warfare prove largely ineffective against the relentless undead. Survivors who cling to pre-apocalypse norms and hierarchies are often the first to fall. Those who survive learn to be flexible, resourceful, and adaptable. They abandon outdated notions of power and status. They focus on practical skills and cooperation. Another crucial lesson is the power of community. Isolated individuals are easy prey for zombies, but groups of survivors who work together, pool resources, and support each other have a much higher chance of survival. The zombie apocalypse, in its own horrific way, underscores the importance of human connection and collaboration. Section 4, The American Redoubt. A fortress in the West. The United States, after initial setbacks, establishes a series of fortified zones across the country. These zones, known as the American Redoubt, become a symbol of hope and resistance. The government prioritizes the defense of these zones, pouring resources into fortifying them against the undead. Life within the redoubt is far from easy. Resources are scarce and the threat of zombie incursion is constant. But within these walls, a semblance of order and civilization is restored. The redoubt becomes a microcosm of American society, reflecting both its strengths and its flaws. The creation of the redoubt highlights the importance of strategic planning and resource management in a crisis. It also raises questions about who gets protected and who gets left behind in a world on the brink. Section 5, Israel's Last Stand, A Wall of Innovation. Israel, facing annihilation, adopts a different approach. They construct a massive wall around their territory, physically isolating themselves from the infected. This strategy, while controversial, proves effective in keeping the zombies at bay. But Israel's survival goes beyond physical barriers. They invest heavily in technology and innovation, developing new weapons and tactics to combat the undead. Their scientists work tirelessly to understand the zombie virus, searching for a cure or a weakness. Israel's story demonstrates the power of human ingenuity and determination. It also highlights the importance of adapting to changing circumstances and using every tool at your disposal to survive. Section 6, Survival Guide. Tips from World War Z. World War Z offers a chillingly realistic glimpse into a world overrun by zombies, but it also provides valuable survival tips that can be applied to various disasters. Be prepared, don't wait for a crisis to hit. Stockpile essential supplies, learn basic survival skills, and have a plan in place. Stay informed, pay attention to your surroundings. Be aware of potential threats, and don't dismiss warning signs. Learn to adapt. The old rules don't apply in a crisis. Be flexible, resourceful, and willing to learn new skills. Find your tribe. There's strength in numbers. Seek out other survivors and build a community. Never give up hope. Even in the darkest of times, remember that humans are incredibly resilient. Never lose your will to survive.